Hello all, GC13 here. Welcome to video number 2 of our Prison Architect Alpha 13 tutorial. Before I do anything else, I want to get rid of this guy. He is my third psychologist. I didn't need the second one, and I certainly don't need a third. And so now let's get down to some actually important matters. We have $21,000. How are we going to spend it? Well, we could make most of it evaporate by putting in this new cell block. However, we already have enough room for the next 8 prisoners who are going to come in, and what we do not have are our visitation room, our cleaning cupboard, or our laundry, which I will zone in later just because I'm finicky. However, I do want it to be ready, so we're going to put in a laundry machine, put in an ironing board. You can put it wherever you want, just make sure that the left is clear. If you were to put it adjacent to the left wall, the prisoners would stand in the wall while they ironed. And I'm going to go ahead and give us 3 laundry baskets, just so we have plenty. And of course the whole reason I'm not zoning it yet, a table. As soon as that table's installed, I can safely zone this, because what will happen is the uniforms will come in with the truck on the hour, and then the guard will want to take it to the laundry, but since the table's not in, he's just going to put it on the ground. That doesn't actually hurt anything, I just don't like the aesthetics of it. I'm allowed to be finicky. Also, I am going to have to power that laundry machine, so we're going to run the power cables, and it needs water, so we're going to run the large pipe down, and stick the small pipe over to it. And the table is installed, so now it is safe to zone it as laundry. Now, if I were to go to deployment and try to assign prisoners here to work in it, as I will assign 5 into the cleaning cupboard, you will notice that I am unable to select this to put any prisoners in here. You might think that that's because this doesn't have power or water, but I'm going to let it get that. I'm going to let it get the power and water just to show you that it is in fact the fact that we are missing a door. It may have 4 walls, but it also requires doors on any openings. Otherwise, if you see, it thinks that the laundry room is part of this massive zone here. Anytime you wall something off and then put in a little door to allow people passage, that is... and there we go. And this sends the lights right off. Exactly as planned, actually. I often forget, but this time I actually meant to do that. No fooling. I want to be able to show people, just in case they have not done the tutorial, that if that happens, you have to put in at least 1 extra capacitor, depending on how much you went over your capacity. You might have to go more. I'm going to put in a second, just to have room to grow. And you also, this capacitor you'll see, is switched off. This power station has 1 power bar, just because it's a power station. Adding in each capacitor adds just as much power as the power station itself has. So adding 1 capacitor will double it. You see it went from having 1 bar to being subdivided into 2. This one will divide it into 3. And the next one will turn it into 4. Now it is definitely safe to turn on the power station. And you'll see some of the bar becomes red. That is the power we're using. The green part of the bar is power we have in reserve. So, for instance, I do not like having all of this darkness, so we're gonna run some cable. Because you'll see that the power doesn't like to propagate through walls. It has to come through this door, and it can't really get anywhere. So I like to run my cables through walls. I need to do more here. I need to research patrols, because you can see this area here. There is right now pretty much no action here, so if prisoners start fighting here, I won't be able to see it. Later on, I'll have a lot more traffic here because there will be some cell blocks here and the canteen will be expanded, but for now, I'm going to have to put a patrol there. And that is something that'll take 6 hours to research, so I should have that in plenty of time. Also, I see that I have not put in my visitors tables. I'll go ahead and get that taken care of. Probably go ahead and put in our workshop as well, so that we can start making some money. These I'm not sure how much work time these maximum security prisoners are going to let us get out of them, but gosh, we're going to try. The maximum security prisoners are a lot more unruly than they used to be. They will, since they come in with needs rather than having all of their needs met and having to develop them in your prison, it can be much more difficult. If you were running an ordinary prison, I would strongly suggest that instead of starting with maximum security prisoners, you go ahead and start with minimum or normal security, and then once you have a large functioning population, you would then start bringing in the maximum security, who, if nothing else, tend to have longer sentences, so you can maintain larger populations. I see we still have to put in a door here so that we can assign some prisoners. Not a light, a door. And you see we have power and water here, but we are still unable to assign any workers. As soon as that door goes in, you'll see that change. Oh, see? And now we can put in 3 prisoners. I don't really recommend going above 3 prisoners for your laundry, especially early on. Once you get a larger prison, you might need a few more in order to deliver more, but mostly the prisoners are just going to end up standing around doing nothing. And I went ahead and hired 2 janitors so that, for one, I can assign this as staff only, just like the kitchen. If I were to not assign this as staff only, I have employees working on the cleaning crew now. And as soon as they reached a point that is outside, so before this foundation finishes, it would be right here. After the foundation finishes, it'll be here, because I'm going to go ahead and put in a jail door there so I can, again, lock it open. Once they get outside, they will immediately forget about work, and they will try to escape. And unless I have a guard here, who happens to be very lucky, then I will probably lose a prisoner. And that is no fun. I want to get that locked open before I forget about it. And aside from that, I'm just going to put in some tables. This is where the finished license plates are going to go. And then I'm going to put in a couple saws, couple presses. So this will be another row of tables. This is where the prisoner will stand while he operates the saw. So this is where I start. 1, 2, 3. I'll put in 6 machines. That should cost me just a little bit over 1 power, so that will definitely knock me out again, unless my prisoners can oh, no. As long as I don't run cable, it won't take me out. It won't knock my power offline. So they can go in, they'll be unpowered until I directly power them. And these guys are all going to start off with an extra power cable to their right, so I'm just going to run 1 column up. I could run it to either side. I'm going to do it on the left. And we will power them like so. And then I could just have 1 column of power cables powering the entire area. Now I've set a guard to patrol this shower during shower time, because if the prisoners are going to get violent, they're most likely to do it during the shower when they're all forced to be together. I do worry about these prisoners, because if we go to their needs report, they also have very high freedom needs, which means I should be looking at 2 or 3 tunnels. Apparently 2, because, well, maybe 2 or 3 tunnels. If you look at your needs report, you can see how many tunnels were worked on that night, because they'll have high sleep needs, and everybody else was actually asleep to take care of that. So I have a choice to make here. I can either start a cell block search. If you search the toilet, you'll find any tunnel that's being dug in the prison or in the cell, because that is where the tunnels start. However, again, they're tunneling along small pipes, so they're getting about 3 squares a day. So even if he's up here, he's probably only to here by now. And even if he were to go here, I hear that takes them up to about 5 squares a day. And even if they were to merge their efforts, I still have a couple nights before I have to worry about anybody escaping with the tunnel. What I do have to worry about more immediately is very unhappy prisoners. they will take care of this freedom need during free time. However, they can't do that if they're in lockdown, or if you were to simply go to your policy reports and say, I don't care if you found tools, because finding the tunnel isn't the problem. That'll just put them into handcuffs. Or finding the tunnel isn't the problem. It's finding the tools. Even with this, they would go into handcuffs and have to wait until the guard... Uh-oh. Did you hear that boo? That means I should have somebody come check this out. So hopefully my guard will go this direction. Your prisoners will start to act vocal before they make trouble for you. So I'm gonna watch the food, make sure my cooks are... See, we have extra food right now. Having only the one cooker does concern me. However, normally I find that one cook can handle 16 prisoners, so I should be fine, regardless of this. I'm gonna go ahead and hire 2 more guards, just, because these guys are maximum security prisoners at the very beginning in a prison where they do have serious complaints. So, just watch the needs report. See, this includes the new guys. We have some very tired ones, some are quite hungry, some need showers. Let's just hope the danger level stays low. I'll let them get these guys out of here, but once that's done, I want to have somebody assigned to the cell block. And I'm going to put in a patrol here, just so I can have him constantly keeping vision on this area once I assign a guy to that patrol. And we do have to mark this as a workshop before we can assign prisoners to it. That will also call for the truck to bring in sheet metal. What's he upset about? He wants to exercise, so we will let him. Now that that's a workshop, we can say we'll put in 6 prisoners, 1 for each machine, and we'll put in our 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's 8, 11, 16. I hear complaining. Let's do a quick head count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There are 2 prisoners I cannot see. I should check the cleaning. I don't know why they would be in the cleaning cupboard or in the laundry. But still, we'll look for them anyway. Because they will complain briefly if you listen. I should probably assign somebody to this patrol. They might be making trouble over there. I will get eyes there and find out. Get up there. Okay, I just want these guys to stay under control. In fact, it would probably be wisest for me to put in yard time, because that way I can keep everybody bottled up until it's time to eat. So we're going to send everybody to the yard. And I will just assign 2 guards there to keep control over everybody. And that is the one good thing about the yard. You can keep everybody under control, and while they're there, I will give them some extra TVs and some phone. I would give them some phone booths, but I can't afford any. We're just going to have to hope that some work time after eating helps. an angry person going to visitation, so I want a guard up there just to make sure that when he leaves visitation, he's not upset. Uh-oh. He's damaging the table. Ugh, and right in front of his mother and father, too. I really expect better out of these guys. See? That's his mom and dad. I don't know what he's upset about. But that means it's time, since I have an injured person. This is the best time for me to go to my grants, accept the grant for health and well-being. And since I've done all of my research and I already have a room available, in fact I will zone it right now, this is only going to cost me $2,500 to fulfill this grant. So this is just $17,500 in my pocket right now, as soon as I find the medical bed. And we'll hire 2 doctors. You can either leave your doctor in the infirmary, or you can send them up to the person who you want to take care of, and they'll just heal people while they're in there. See, she sees, oh hey, there's an injured person near me. I'll heal him. And I guess the guy injured his own mother. Wow, oh no, that's him. Oh, they're upset. They're upset. I don't know why they do this to me. I'm a good warden, really. I mean, I am so kind to them. Let's see, but right now, all of my punishments are locked down. See, the fact that they're acting up so much means that I probably want to go ahead and do a little bit of building. We'll have them put in a couple solitary rooms for us. This way, we can get a better suppression effect on them for the same amount of time unable to fill their own needs. Let's see, we have food for 1 prisoner, and I'll bet it's 1 more guy to eat. He's hungry, but again, he acted up. He's not going to make it in time. Well, maybe he could. No, except there's no food for him. Oh well. Yeah, those are consequences, buddy. So he's just running up there, nothing for him. And we will lock this open. Again, I do not recommend starting with maximum security prisoners. Normal security prisoners, you'll still have to do a little bit of thinking about fulfilling their needs. If you really want to not have a tough time, you'd have to go with minimum security, but normal security, it's possible to keep them from getting angry at pretty much any stage. Whereas for this, I was pretty much messed up I don't know if it is possible. I have not played that many games with maximum security prisoners. I do all of my tutorials with them just to show that the concepts work even on the hardest difficulty. And introducing maximum security prisoners to a brand new prison is something of a challenge. And we're also going to want somebody up here, and they're going to congregate in here without much to do, so I want to keep an eye on them in there. Once I were to have closed circuit television, which again I want to prioritize sooner rather than, don't know why I'm going to all the wrong menus, sooner rather than later. I will build it tonight actually. I will be able to keep an eye on, I'll just have a guy patrolling here, and then he'll be right on hand in case the camera sees anything. And these guys will just make sure that I don't run dry on money, because it is very important not to fall into a death spiral on your prison. Because if you get into a point where everybody's rioting because you don't have your amenities, and you can't give them amenities because they keep rioting and stuff keeps getting damaged, then you're pretty much done. Your prison has failed, and you will have to start over. So we want to keep an eye on our money supply. Just put in 4 solitary cells here with the ability to quickly expand to 9. And as an added perk, the reason I put the solitary here, I believe I told you this in the first video, is so that they don't have such an easy route to tunnel out of here. See, instead of having to go 1, 2, 3, and then 4 you're out, it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 you're out. So I'd still probably want to put in a fence around here once I had prisoners in here. But how I can work it is I can do these first 4 and then do the next 4, rather than going straight down a line like I did the last time. And let's get one more guard, because again, this prison is large and difficult to manage, and we will put him on that patrol route. So again, you just click on the patrol route to assign a guard to it specifically. These guys are very mad. It's a good thing we have a guard stationed here already. So if they act up, he will be able to respond. Oh, hell. No, he's just hurt. You. They're rattling the cage somewhere. That's not a good thing. I want to send in somebody, make sure it is not a prisoner in the shower. This guy will keep order in the workshop. But needs report says free time would be a good thing. And they're about to go on to free time. Oh, come on. Are you kidding me? See, I barely got the door locked shut in time. Don't know why he decided to escape, but nipped that one right in the bud. Oh, what I forgot to do was... Oops. Never mind. Undo that. What I had meant to do was make it so he shouldn't even have been in here in the first place. That should be staff only. And... walls are closing in on him. Okay, let's go back and set this staff only. This is our access hallway. Visitors and workmen will use this, especially when they're... This should be a little bit of money. Not as much as I'd like, but it's a few thousand. Or a couple thousand. Okay, I need to get people up here because if he gets outnumbered, they might grab his keys. And if they do manage to get your guard's keys, you're going to want to... Again, you saw me lock the door shut manually, because if you manually lock it shut, even not your guards are unable to open it. They tell me that in the case of a lockdown, your guards are able to unlock the doors if they wish. They are just programmed not to want to. And we're gonna bring... I mentioned you can bring a doctor up. We'll bring the doctor up to heal that guard and that prisoner. And I'm gonna have to adjust my prison policy. We're going to start instituting, now that we have solitary, we'll lock them in solitary for a lot of these offenses. I'm not too concerned about destruction. We'll just up the lockdown time, but the rest of the stuff, and for finding weapons, those will all be solitary offenses. And hopefully he will get healed by the doctor as well. There we go. And let's get some of these guards off of their stations so that they can start moving prisoners around where they need to be. See, and I really don't like seeing these guys get hurt, because they see this guy has food needs, this guy's dead. I don't know why he's being escorted to his cell. But what we need to do is we definitely need to close ourselves off ourselves off to more prisoners. We do not have a well-functioning prison right now, and adding more maximum security inmates right now would be very foolish. So probably now would be a good time to find out about these tunnels once these guys are moved. This poor dead guy is stuck in his cell. I suppose I could make this a morgue. I'll go ahead and do that. I'll make it a morgue. I'm not going to put a door on it. Like you see, I do like that about Alpha 13. The prisoners are they're kind of a challenge now. You see, they're not going easy on me. With Alpha 12, I had no trouble at all, but now they're being really hard on me. They are actually acting like maximum security inmates. We got 2 awaiting solitaire. Maybe no, there's no way. It's a little bit of money in license plates. It's good. It's good. Who else do I don't need you patrolling there. Ooh, wow, he'd gotten pretty far. Lock you shut, and you got nowhere to go. See, he had actually gotten out of his cell, and I guess his tunnel was discovered. They searched the bed, found that to be a dummy, or they searched the toilet. Anyway, they tried to search him while he was on his bed. He popped up where he was. He was out here in the hallway, and he made a break for it, but I was able to shut the door in time. And they have bludgeoned him into submission currently. I cannot believe that that's all he's been suppressed. I'm gonna spend a... Whoa! Where is he getting this stockpile? Stole a spoon from the canteen. Wow. This guy's an industrious thief. Anyway, we're going to fill in these holes with our remove tunnels material. Just fill that in. 100 for that tunnel. 60 for that tunnel. I want these to be serviceable as soon as possible. Again, we'll call a doctor up so that we can get some of these guys healed. Searching the dead guy, who had himself been hard at work on a tunnel. Again, they find the tunnel when they search the toilet, or if they try to search a guy who is asleep, or who is supposed to be asleep but is actually digging. They'll also discover the tunnel when they find out that it's a dummy, that he's left there. This guy's being taken to solitary confinement. Okay, good. I have 4 solitary cells, and I have 4 people waiting for solitary. Again, they're not going easy on me. I like that. It makes the maximum security prisoners a little bit of a challenge. I would recommend that you start out with minimum security prisoners or normal security, because the normal security prisoners are still they will get upset if you're not careful, but they give you a much wider margin of error. Go ahead and give our cooks a second cooker and another fridge. Oops. But only those 3 tunnels. That's good. These guys aren't working on any. Needs report. Guys are sleeping. They'll need to shower. They'll want to use the phones when they wake up, but I'm hoping that we have everything under control after tonight. I think if we can make it through the morning shower period and then get them all fed, if we can handle all that, I think we'll be good. Let's see. Up! We have a hearse here. And I told you I would have to make a mental note to remove this tree. We're going to go ahead and dump the 2 trees that are in the road right now. Otherwise, the hearse will never leave. It will drive down here, and it will be blocked by the tree. So, we're going to go ahead and take care of that right now. So we want 1 guard in the shower, 1 guard patrolling that route. We'll put 1 guard deployed straight to the canteen. Why is he in his cell? Oh, he needs to be escorted to solitary, that's why. Let's see. Oh, they made it in time. Darn it, I wanted to show you the hearse getting stuck on the tree, but now you'll just see the hearse driving off. And that is 1 black mark against our prison. A serious injury and a unsolved murder. We probably know exactly who did it, but either way, it doesn't matter. Somebody was murdered on my watch. Maybe for Alpha 14, I'll go more compact. I wanted to be a little grand on this prison, and I think the grandness of the design is costing me a bit. Usually what I do is I just lay out my prisons willy-nilly. This time, you saw how much I'd planned ahead. I had drawn all of this out where I wanted it. I think that might have cost me a little bit, because that allowed me to make a larger prison. If I had been forced to make do with a smaller prison, that might not have been such a difficult day for me. But we have a low danger level. All those suppressed prisoners are certainly helping us. Why is he not being taken to solitary? Whose job is that? Let's go to the jobs report and find out. Oh. You get out of the bed. He is alive, right? He moved. I saw him move. Okay, he's taking care of it now. Okay, so he should start patrolling around on his own. We'll come down to look at him later. Let's see how we're doing. We have enough food for 6 more prisoners. I think that's good. Everyone who wants to eat should have a chance. Let's power these. I mean, they'll still use them, but again, we're not gonna take advantage of that. And do I want to give them free time, or do I? We'll give them a little bit of free time in the morning. But instead of yard time, we'll give them that. Instead of eating, we'll give them free time to make up for it. And I'll go ahead and move some guys off cleaning detail so that I can have, for one, we'll put in another capacitor. We'll put in another saw and another 2 more saws and 2 more presses. And then we will take some prisoners away, because we will need 10 prisoners. 1, 2, 3, 4, 12, which means we can have 3 guys keeping it clean. We already have 2 full-time janitors, and they should be able to do most of it. The prisoners in the cleaning cupboard are entirely secondary. In fact, I might end up hiring a 3rd janitor just to keep things spick and span. But we'll see. All in all, I'm calling this not a terrible day, because we didn't lose a guard. We did lose 1 prisoner, so that is a source of income, and it counts as unsolved murder either way. So that's 30,000 off of our valuation, no matter who it was. However, we seem to have largely restored order, even once those suppressions come off the factors list. I think this needs report is viable. We have some people who were too busy tunneling at night to sleep, but hopefully they're getting that freedom need taken care of, and they'll be able to sleep tonight. So we're going to go ahead and leave that early sleep time in there. Usually I would move the sleep time to 11, but we'll give them an extra hour of sleep. It's an extra hour to tunnel also, but an extra hour to sleep. And tonight, once we have our license plate money, will probably be a good time to start work on our closed-circuit television cameras, and we'll probably get the morgue moved back here. And we'll put in a holding cell here so that we can have some overflow. But we're gonna complete this soon enough. We were just delayed by our violence issues. Anyway, I hope that you guys were as excited by this tutorial as I was. Like I said, Alpha 13's a lot more fun now. The prisoners actually act like they don't want to be here. So, if you enjoyed this video, please like it, please subscribe to my channel. There will be more videos coming in our Alpha 13 series. And I will see you guys